Freeway and Scholito. What's good?
Yes, sir. What up, Vlad?
What's up, homie?
Yo, Scholito, this is the first time we're actually meeting, but me and Freeway go way back before VladTV.
Yeah, I know. He told me a lot about you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were doing interviews when I was doing DVDs, Hot in Here DVD, before I ever launched VladTV. So this is probably, 2007, 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, about 10 years deep, man. That's what it is.
Wow.
You know?
Still here.
It's great.
Still going strong.
Yeah, right?
Hey, it's great to see when, the OGs are still doing it and still popping, you know what I mean?
And doing it at a high level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, before we get into the rest of it, how did y'all two actually link up and talk about doing this project together?
Well, we both from Philly. Probably like 3 or 4 years ago, we got mutual old heads that introduced us. You know what I'm saying? They was like, Scholito, as Frank, got a lot of talent. Got to the studio, knocked the joint out, came out crazy, and we've been going hard ever since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was it about Scholito that really kind of stood out to you? Because I'm sure you have a lot of people that approach you that want to do tracks with you.
I mean, he's just very talented, and he's a good individual all the way around. He's solid all the way around the board. You might run into somebody that's hot. They got skills, but they're a knucklehead. They bring in extra baggage and all that. Scholito like the total package.
Yeah, that's the thing about staying in hip hop or entertainment in general is that you got to be professional and you got to be about your business.
Most definitely.
Yeah. One bad tweet could literally affect your whole career. Okay, so you guys are coming out with a joint album.
No, he about to drop. He about to drop his project.
I'm dropping the project April 14th.
And I'm on it.
Right.
But we do have a joint album that we have in the catalog though.
Okay, but you're dropping an EP and it's featuring Freeway.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, you had said that Freeway actually was one of your favorite MCs.
Absolutely. I got probably 20. When I was in high school, I would write my rhymes over his songs with his lyrics on it. So I got about 30 songs that I wrote to a lot of his classics.
Really?
Yep, a lot.
Okay. So Freeway, you actually heard some of these?
I heard a couple of them.
Okay. What'd you think? How'd you rate them?
Good, very good. He got some heat, boy.
I got better since then.
He got way better since then, but it was still solid. Like you could play it today and you'll still be amazed.
Okay. Now, Scholito, you also mentioned some of your favorites were Beanie Sigel, Black Thought.
Absolutely.
So all the Philly rappers, pretty much.
Yep. As far as content-wise, my favorite, it was Freeway, Beanie Sigel, and Black Thought. But I definitely have love and respected the craft of all of the MCs that paved the way for me to do what I'm doing from Philadelphia.
Now, I feel you. Now, you started rapping early.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, like how old?
About 16, I started rapping.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe 14, maybe 15, I started rapping. I was hanging around Iverson and his crew. So I did a lot of writing amongst, his crew, because he was coming out with a label, ABK Crew Thick, and I was doing a lot of writing intertwined with that clique.
Okay.
Yep.
Because at one point, Iverson was a rapper.
Yeah, he was a rapper. Yep.
I think his name was Jules or something like that.
Yeah, Jules Arelli. Yep.
What was it?
Jules Arelli.
Jules Arelli. There we go.
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go. I remember he had come out with a single. And it was so violent that the NBA told him that if he wants to do this, he's gonna have to leave the NBA.
Yeah. And his folks, a guy named Ty Gracie, was how I really got introduced to Iverson on a personal level. And Ty Gracie was actually, an artist that came out of Virginia. They was childhood friends. So I worked a lot with Ty Gracie, side to side as well.
Okay, and so what happened? Like the label never really got off the ground?
Yeah, Iverson, the NBA kind of really was against him really, doing the music thing. And it eventually just folded. He didn't really want to be a part of the music thing. Actually doing it himself or putting out a label but he still had passion, you know, and love for music.
Yeah, I mean, this is a question to really both of y'all. Like, Iverson was like the first, I feel like, hip hop NBA player. He's the first one that kind of took the hip hop mentality, fashion, attitude into the NBA. Now, being that he was playing at, you know, for Philly, like, how important was that in Philly?
It was major. You know, we got a lot of love for Iverson, man. And, you know, it was around the time where we really started bubbling, like me and Beans and everybody. So we would bump into AI in different cities. Like, you know, it was all love, man. I remember one time we was in, where was we at? We was in Ohio, and we was in the same hotel with Iverson. And Iverson was like, y'all niggas rich, but I'm wealthy. He was in his bag on us.
Yeah, he's straight up and down. He was actually the first person that made me see that the world is much more than just the city that you in. I remember freestyling for him, and I was like, yeah, you know, I want to be the best in the city, and he's like, nah, you want to be the best in the world. And ever since then, I was like, damn, you know what? You're right. I'll never say that again. Like, I always, you know, strive to be the best, like, you know, in the whole world. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been my mentality, you know, because I actually started out as a producer.
Oh,
And
wow.
at one point, I just realized that I'm never going to be DJ Premier.
Wow.
I'm never going to be Dr. Dre. So, you know, I didn't want to be the producer that got a placement every so often. You know what I mean? So then I went into DJing, which I did really well at. You know, I became one of the best in my era. Then VladTV, which once again, I felt like I became one of the best in my era. But the thing is, I've always felt like knowing when to quit is more important than not giving up. You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, knowing how to fail quickly.
Right.
You know, before you invest a decade into some shit that you're never going to be good at.
Got you.
I think it's important.
Yep, that's very smart decision making. Yep, at the right times.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
now, Scholito, you had a brother that's doing life?
Yeah, my brother, he's been incarcerated. He's a juvenile lifer. He's been incarcerated since 15 years old. And happy birthday to him. Today is actually his birthday. So he turned 41 today. He's been in prison since 15, but there was light at the end of the tunnel because the Supreme Court last January 25th, they ruled that it was unconstitutional to give juveniles life. So my brother and all of the other juvenile lifers got an opportunity to be coming home. Like probably like an over 90% chance. So we want to see a lot of juvenile lifers free, you know, given a second chance.
So what did he get locked up for at 15?
Every juvenile life, and this is something that I just learned because I just had to go to a meeting at the prison, but anybody who's a juvenile lifer is a murderer. So everybody that's a juvenile lifer was because of a murder, whether they was wrongfully convicted or not. Each one of them is down for, you know, a murder. But, you know, according to science, your mind is not mature until the age 25. So that's the reason why they ruled it unconstitutional to give juveniles life. Because these kids were given life in their teens, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about he's been in prison 26 years.
The 26 year be starting next year, the 25
Starting
years.
next year.
Yep.
So, like, almost 2/3 of his life.
Absolutely. He grew up in prison.
In prison.
Yeah, grew up in prison. It's sad, man, it's sad, you know, just speaking to some of the prisoners up there, a lot of them haven't matured yet. They still got an adolescent mentality and the way they think, you know, just because they that's all they know is prison. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the situation around him getting locked up?
You mean far as what?
What did he, you know, I mean, he got convicted for murder, but what was the situation around it?
Well, he supposedly been a robbery and someone rushed him, and when they rushed him, a gun went off and the guy, you know, lost his life. But there was other people involved, and you know, my brother just didn't mention anybody else. And
Oh, so he had the opportunity to tell on other people.
yeah, but you know,
And 26 years later, he still has kept his mouth shut all this time.
Yeah. I mean, but, by the grace of God, I guess, in his heart, he was a good person. So God is allowing him a second chance, and freedom. So.
I mean, how was that conversation with your brother when, after the sentencing, when he was told life in prison as a 15-year-old? Because how old were you at the time?
I was 4.
Oh, okay. So you guys weren't.
Yeah, so I didn't really, I didn't really conversate with him. To be honest with you, I didn't realize what life was, and that he had life, that he wasn't coming home until I was in my, my adolescent, a teenager. Once I turned about 13.
Your mom was like hiding it from you?
No, she wasn't hiding it. I just didn't understand. Like, you tell somebody at 4 or 5 years old, like, oh yeah, your brother has life in jail. I'm like, does that, like, I didn't know that meant his entire natural life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's crazy. It's a touchy situation.
It is, and to get life in prison and not to start telling on everybody. They don't build them like that anymore.
Nah, they don't. Well, that was a different era. Not to say it wasn't people that did that back then, but that era, I was told was different. People, had more, dignity. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, man. These days, motherfuckers will tell on someone for 6 months.
He never lied. Yep.